Hey everyone, welcome to TMI Live. Too much information with Moondog, which is yours truly. Now, this actually is not a live show. This is a special pre-recorded show because I'm traveling today, but it is also a special show because I have a special guest from Germany. Not live, but we'll be including him. And if you clicked on the thumbnail because you saw a gentleman with his pants down, hopefully you're not tuning into the show for the wrong reasons, but that is him. We have Professor Martin Rendell, who will be joining us later in this pre-recorded episode. But before we get started, let me give a little plug to this episode's sponsor, which is Aura.com, which is a cybersecurity service that I use to help protect me when I'm online, whether even at home or especially when I'm traveling like I am today. Aura.com offers a whole suite of services, including VPN, which is great for traveling and being on public Wi-Fi. Or also they offer credit monitoring, fraud alerts, spam blockers, and data broker removal service, which is great because that's how you get onto these annoying spam and text spam bot lists is through these data broker companies that sell your private personal information to marketeers, political organizations, or whoever wants to send you spam. Well, you can get yourself removed from these dozens of broker companies by using Aura. And they bundle all of these services into one low monthly fee. Otherwise, you have to pay for a VPN separate from a credit monitoring service, separate from a data broker removal service. Here, you're just paying one low monthly fee and you're protected in so many ways. Plus, they give you $1 million in identity theft insurance, which a lot of those VPNs and other services, they don't do. So, and here's your opportunity using my QR code that you see there on screen there, or just typing in the link aura.com/moondog, and you'll get to try them out for free for 14 days. So try out all the services like the data broker removal and see how many data brokers you can get removed from in those 14 days. And let me know in the comments. Well, let me know in the comments below here. This is not a live show, so you're not going to have any side chat today, but try them out. All right, so let's get started. Usually in every episode, I like to give away a prize, and we have a mystery brand that I usually have to show, and we have a piece of software that finds the correct answers, and you're entered into a drawing. But since this is not a live show, today we're going to do something a little different. If you know the answer to this question, what is this logo that you're seeing here? What I want you to do is email me with a hashtag in the subject line, hashtag and the name of this company that you're seeing here. And the first 3 correct email answers that I get will win a patch. We're going to give away 3 different patriotic patches. You can either get the black and white one, or you can get the desert tan one, or you can get the good old red, white, and blue. So the first one who gets will get the black and white, and the second one will get the tan one, and the third one will get the red, white, and blue. So send me an email at moondogairsoft@gmail.com, and I'll include a link in the video description with the email to send to. And the first 3 you'll get the answers correct that I receive in an email will win the prize today. And I'll give you some additional clues if you don't know this logo that you're seeing here. All right, let's get into the new videos that I posted this week, because this is part of the things that we do on the show is just to go over some of the videos that I posted on my channels. I've got 3 different channels. Got Moondog 2A, which is a lot of my firearms and shooting sports review videos, and on my gadget channel and my otaku or geeky channel, that's Moondog Reviews. I post up products. And the third channel I have is Moondog Go, which is the travel channel, which I'm probably filming stuff for. This is the reason why I'm away today. So on Moondog 2A, I posted a video review of the new Vector Optics Frenzy Plus, and this is an enclosed emitter red dot that fits on top of a pistol slide. And this one is acro cut. Trijicon acro is the type of attachment point. And this one is Vector Optics version of that. It is acro compatible. So if you have an acro cut slide, this will fit onto it. The clamp design is different and they can't call it acro because that's trademarked and patented. This one will clamp on, and it actually it's easier to get on than an acro, because the acros you have to actually have kind of ratchet on the screw. This one, you just screw straight onto the side with a Torx head, and it attaches on. And it has a really nice, nice design, relatively thin box frame on it. Here, I'll show you what the reticle looks like. All right, let's bring down our brightness all the way to its lowest and see all the different steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and there we go. That's the maximum brightness. And let's bring this down since it's a little blinking. That tells you your maximum. Let's take a look at the overall clarity of this window. It is pretty sharp all the way from edge to edge, corner to corner. This is a pretty nice flat image overall. So that gives you it's a little taste of the full-on review video that I posted for this, and so check it out on my channel, Moondog 2A. And I also posted a review of the new CV Life Eagle Blaze, which is one of the cheapest, most affordable 7 to 35 scopes that I've come across. It's actually, and it's pretty decent. And it, not only that, in terms of just looking through it, the quality of it, but the reason why it looks so good through it is that it uses Japanese ED glass, which for the price is kind of just shocking. It's just shocking how good a budget scope is nowadays. But here's a little taste of that review video. We're looking at the peak of Mount Davidson, approximately 1,400 yards away, through the Eagle Blaze at its lowest power of 7 to give our best overall view through the glass. And it is a very windy, blustery day today, so pardon any wind noise and any construction noise since they're doing a remodel down the block. But one thing I note here is that the scope has a nice, crisp, clear, and color-accurate image. You may notice a bit of a color shift inside of the scope to that outside of the scope in terms of the color of the sky, and that is actually realistic because there is a big, thick cloud bank behind the hill there. So that's the reason why the sky looks very different in color through the scope. I also note that the reticle is actually very bold. The outer crosshairs make it very visible. Now, as we increase magnification, we are just going to magnify all the faults in the glass. So let's bring it up to about halfway, typical sweet spot for a scope. Again, still pretty clear, sharp from center to the outer edge with no real visible chromatic aberration. And now let's bring this all the way up to its maximum of 35, and we've lost quite a bit of light and contrast as to be typical with a 35 power scope, but we can clearly make out the trail marker sign. That is about a 3-foot-ish steel sign at the top of the hill there. That's just a little bit above the center crosshairs. That's about a 3-foot-ish steel sign on top of a pole, which is a good proxy for an IPSC target at this distance. So if you notice there, the image which you're looking through the scope looks kind of gray in the background, but outside of the scope view, it was blue as a blue sky, and that was actually accurate to what I was seeing in real life because there was a fog bank, low cloud behind the hill, but the rest of the sky that day was pretty blue. I mean, it was partly cloudy, but that's the reason why outside of the scope view it was blue and inside it was gray. But the overall color accuracy was really good. Owing to the Japanese ED glass, but for a fairly inexpensive scope, it was surprisingly good glass. Well, you'll see. Check out the review video in Moondog on my Moondog 2A channel. On my Moondog Reviews channel, I posted a review of the new Claris E5 Plus. Now, this is the follow-on to the Claris E5, which I reviewed last year. And it's the Claris E5 and the E5 Plus is a really thin, very nice EDC light, and budget EDC light, by the way, very affordable. So it's a great gift, a great stocking stuffer so Christmas is coming up, and there's probably feature in my top 10 of my suggested gifts for the year. But it comes in a variety of colors. It's all anodized colors, and it's the body is all metal aluminum, and this also has the main light is actually a side light, and it's a clip-on. It's a nice big clip on it, but it also has a secondary light, so you can use it as a sort of standard EDC pointing. And it's blade shaped, so it fits into pockets without printing, and it's it's a relatively bright light. So here's a little taste of the review video. I recharged the flashlight overnight, and we're going to see how long it'll run starting in turbo mode. But don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch this in real time. I've set the camera to time lapse, and let's just see when this thing turns off. So yeah, it's going. You figure, well, how would you feel in terms of how? Oh, this is surprising. The manual says that it has a runtime of 50 minutes on turbo mode, and we've already blown past that. Well, let's see how much longer. So that's 100 minutes right there. So over an hour and a half so far. It's pretty good, don't you think? I think 60 minutes would be a long time. And it's still going. It's still on. So there it is. And the timer's already ticked over once. So this is 193 minutes, not just 93 minutes. So that is one of the key features that I thought was just made this thing stand out, certainly for the price. I believe it's going for just under $20. And you can see how thin and lightweight this thing is. It's really, and it looks really, it's a very smart looking design overall. So that's the review I posted in Moondog's review channel. Check it out. See if it's a flashlight you're interested in. And on my Moondog Go channel, which is my travel channel, I've been posting a series of videos that I filmed while at Universal Hollywood. And at Universal Hollywood is the only Nintendo Super Nintendo land outside well, actually it's not. I forget. I think it's the first one, or it might be the second one outside of Japan. The other one is at Universal Orlando, but this is the one over at Universal Hollywood. There's the green part, and just start drinking. Go a little bit faster. That's perfect. Keep it going. Keep it going. Just like that. So that is one of the mini games that you can play there, and if you opt to buy these RFID wristbands, you can accumulate points, and they give you special bonuses that you can interact with inside of Super Nintendo Land. And I've got a full long like 10-minute video of the whole experience of going on these mini games and going on the rides there. So check that out on my Moondog's Go channel. And that is the Goomba mini game, which is at Super Nintendo World. Now, this is the part of the video or the part of my show where I usually ask you to help me with my upcoming video, and that is to help me with a name or a headline or a title for the thumbnail that's coming up. So here's the image and the thumbnail that I'm going to go with, but YouTube gives me the option to add 2 more options that will randomly be shown to people suggested on their suggested video feed. So here's the review that's going to be coming up for the Cytron S6. This is their 60 power long range precision scope. And this is the headline I'm going with: 60 times perfection. Let me know if you have any thoughts as to perhaps a better headline for this thumbnail, and leave it in the comments section below. Leave a comment with and just say thumbnail : and your headline that you think would be great for this thumbnail. And if I like it, if you get enough votes, thumbs votes on your suggestion, then I will make an alternate thumbnail to put into the YouTube testing feature that they have when I publish videos. All right. Here's your first non-visual clue for the name of this brand. This is the mystery brand here is a German car company that was founded in 1937, and its name in German literally means people's car. So if you know German and you know what people's car means, put in a hashtag and the name of this car brand in the subject line of your email and send me an email at moondogairsoft@gmail.com. And the first 3 correct answers will get one of these 3 um, patriotic flag patches from me. So, in the email, aside from the correct answer, be sure to include your name and a mailing address so I can mail this to you. All right. So, in the subject line, put the hashtag and the name of this car brand that I've given you a clue here, and put in the body of the email your name and your mailing address for your patch. So the first 3 are going to win. Now, let's get into the special guest we have here. And if you saw the thumbnail, this is the thumbnail, and that is my guest. He has his pants down and he's giving a demonstration of one of his unique designs. He's an award-winning industrial designer, and he designed a toilet of all things. And this is a demonstration he gave in Germany, and to the media actually. And this was part of he showed this as part of a TED talk he gave at Chiang Mai, which is in Thailand. And I won't show the video of the TED talk here because I don't want to steal his thunder. You got to see his TED talk. It's a pretty great story, and I'll include a link in the video description down below so you can watch the full TED talk that he gave. But this is our special guest today, good friend of mine. And this is our opportunity to go down the rabbit hole and meet Professor Martin Rendell. So let me play the interview with my buddy Martin Rendell. Martin, how are you?
Good morning. Hi.
Good morning.
Hey, buddy.
How are things? You're in Cologne, right?
Yes.
Yes, and that's Cologne. That's Cologne for us Americans who don't.
It is Cologne, and you know the cologne that you put on your cheeks in the morning. It comes from here.
Really? How come?
Yeah.
Where does that come from in terms of? Was it originally made there? Long time ago.
Yeah. It was invented here in the 18th century by a family, which actually still runs the business in the 7th generation, but it's a really, really old-fashioned thing. It was called Eau de Cologne, which is French for water from Cologne. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. Okay, and they still make cologne. This company, Eau de Cologne, or
yeah, sure. You know, back in the times, people needed cologne, which was expensive, of course, you know, but people needed it because they stank. Everybody stank in that time, right? Even the king would stink like a wet dog, and so yeah, they were in need of cologne, and perfume came from France, of course, obviously, but cologne, which was a more, let's say, for common people, you know, it was a lot more dissolved than perfume, not as precious. Yeah. Anyway, so that comes from Cologne, and this is where I sit, and everything smells good here.
Well, some would say that or at least the English would say the French still need it all the time. So. Anyway,
well, they probably do. I don't know.
Before I get sidetracked on that, let me introduce the folks to you in terms of how do we know each other from school, and we went to Art Center Europe together in Switzerland. But could you tell my audience a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, and how you got to Art Center and where we met?
Oh, I grew up on the countryside, you know, very rural area here in Germany, in a tiny village with not even 2,000 people. And it was, you know, growing up in a village in Germany is fantastic because you're out in nature. The whole village is watching over you, taking care of you. And I remember my child days very harmonious, really great. Yeah, and but at some point when you're 18, you want to see more of the world. So um, I started studying design because it interested me. I don't know, I didn't want to do what my dad did. He was an architect. Um, but still, I wanted to do something creative, so I chose design. And after maybe 2 years studying in Germany, it started getting boring. And I wanted to see more of the world, you know. So I stumbled upon Art Center. A friend of mine introduced it to me in Switzerland. And you know how it was, typical European by the lake, not far from Montreux, where the jazz festival happens, and in a beautiful building. They call it Chateau, right? The office building.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It was literally a chateau. It was, I don't know, some rich person's chateau.
of
And
course.
the yeah, it was quite epic in terms of. I regret that I didn't pull up some slides from when we were students over there. Yeah, but I remember. I don't know. Do we have any classes together?
No, because I was studying product design at the time. And you were a graphic designer and illustrator, right?
Yeah, it was communication, or was it communication design? I forget what the
Yeah, probably
yeah.
communication design. Yeah,
And
but I don't know how we met. I mean, you seemed like an interesting, funny guy, and and it was uh, it was good to have Americans at the school because it
well, it
was
was an
mainly
American school, right?
Europeans.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
And my plan was to go to Pasadena afterwards because after a year, I thought there must be more than this, and I want to, I want the American thing. So I signed up for Pasadena, but on my way home, I changed my mind and I went back to Darmstadt, where I studied initially. Yeah,
Now I
but it
also
was a funny
remember,
year. It
yeah,
was a
I
very good year.
because only a couple of students that I remember that I went to school with ended up. I'm seeing them again the following semester because you could only spend one semester, or at least I could only spend one semester there without it affecting my particular degree path because it was a little more specialized in Pasadena for advertising.
Okay, yeah.
But
You went back to Pasadena and finished there, right?
yeah, and then that's when I went to New York, and I think that was the next time I saw you when you came to visit in New York.
Exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah. With my French girlfriend. It was wonderful. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Except that I
You made it
remember,
happen. You
yeah,
made it happen. Do you
that's
remember?
right. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
was working on mobile fuels at the time,
exactly.
and
Hmm.
I reached out to you to help with a presentation and coming up with ideas to redesign the
Oil
the.
bottle.
Yes, exactly. You do remember.
Yes, of course. Yeah. And then it didn't work out, and instead of, however, you talk to your agency and you organize two flight tickets to New York. Yeah, and let us
Yeah,
stay at your apartment, and it was very bohemian, very, very romantic, and I remember everything was it was really, really nice. When was that? Long time ago.
I must.
93,
Yeah,
something?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was like one of my the first year or the second, really the first year that I was there because I came in like in the middle of '92. The only other thing I remember that I hope you don't remember was that you got sick while you were there. Well,
I
you were
know,
visiting.
but only one day.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah. And you knew Giselle already, right?
No, no,
In
I didn't meet her
93?
for I didn't meet her for another 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. Anyway, long time ago. We talk like two old men, which we are not, Tom.
But a lot of has happened since the last time I saw you, which was we were reminiscing that it was like in
Mm,
1998 was the last time we met face to face. You came to visit
mm.
California, and but you became
No,
no.
I came to your wedding afterwards.
Oh,
Don't
right.
you remember?
Yes, yes. So that was already 2000. But again, California.
California, yeah.
Hmm.
San Francisco.
And you eventually went to started. So let's get back to like what happened, because I know that you had started a design firm, and then how did you get into how did you become Professor Rendell?
Mm. Well, I started teaching maybe 10 years ago, just out of curiosity. I like, first of all, I like working with young people. You lose touch otherwise.
Oh, that's a good point.
And it's very refreshing and also inspiring to work with young spirits. And also, I felt like, I was in my mid 40s already, and I felt like I wanted to share some of my experience. Not knowledge necessarily, but experience. And, combining fresh ideas with a 20-something-year-old and the experience with a 40-something-year-old is a quite good combination. And they give me all freedom. I don't have to stick to the curriculum. I can do fun stuff with them, do experiments, and it's just for me. It has nothing to do with earning money because it's ridiculously paid. But the reward is seeing the results by the end of each term, and see them happy, see them grow, and see them surprise themselves. That's very touching. It sounds idealistic, but believe me, it's fantastic work. And now that my children are their age, I have a much better, how can I say, approach to them. I understand them better than 10 years ago, right?
Children
Because
will do that.
they're like my children. So yeah, it started 10 years ago, just a course here and there once in a while, and then came Corona,
Mm,
uh,
yeah.
COVID-19, and then I had to teach more because I couldn't do my cultural management job, which I usually do abroad, and since everything was closed and locked down, so that's when I started working full time at the university, or almost full time. And the Bauhaus year changed everything. Well, Bauhaus actually was just before COVID, because we celebrated the 100th anniversary of Bauhaus, which was
Oh,
founded
and you should.
in Germany.
I'm just taking a step back here. Maybe you should explain what Bauhaus is to my audience, because a lot of them are certainly
Oh,
aren't
of course.
it may have not even remembered it from art history, or may have never taken art history class.
It's very simple. Bauhaus is the mother of all design schools. It was founded in 1919 in Eastern Germany. It doesn't exist anymore. It existed only for 14 years. But still today, it's regarded as the most important and most influential
Absolutely.
design school in history. That's where the legendary designers, architects, and artists came from, who then became teachers again. Some even in America. When
Yeah, yeah.
Bauhaus was closed down, they founded, I think it was Black Mountain College, for instance, and so Bauhaus, yeah, is the cradle of design, actually. So you can imagine, 100 years Bauhaus was a big thing, not only Germany, actually worldwide. And the Foreign Office sent me to China because they they wanted to organize a huge, what's it called, competition.
Oh, okay.
A competition amongst architects, designers, engineers, artists, whoever, um, to find answers to the question, how do we want to live tomorrow? Okay. And I found that very interesting because celebrating a 100-year-old school is boring. But asking yourself the question, what's going to be in the next 100 years, and who would be the Bauhaus spirits, the Bauhaus heroes of today? That was really, really interesting. So I went to China and organized a huge competition there with a university in southern China.
Mm-hmm. Which
And
city was this, or which university?
well, you probably wouldn't know. It's called Zhuhai. Zhuhai is for Chinese standards, it's a tiny place with I think 3 to 4 million people.
Oh, tiny.
It's
Yeah.
it's like a village. But it's interesting because it's regarded as the Silicon Valley of China. This is where it happens. Lots of IT industry and manufacturing companies, and a beautiful university with a dean who is a very powerful woman and a big fan of Germany.
Oh,
So,
okay.
she helped me organize the competition. I did some workshops and lectures at her university. We published a book and so forth. And then she made me professor. Professor, it's a Professor HC.
What's HC stand for?
Stands for honoris causa, which is Latin, means honorary professor.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So it's something you don't have to work for it. I don't have to write a dissertation or something. I just get it, and it's a title. It's just a title. It's nothing really important,
Well, speaking
But
of
ever
dissertation, I want to get into your famous dissertation on toilet design.
Oh, that was my final project at university. Yeah.
But I don't want to derail from your story of so you organized the competition. How many competitors? How many students? And it was a worldwide one, or primarily Chinese entrants?
It was worldwide, and we had 1,800 entrances and more than
Wow.
800 from China alone, because it's a big country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1,800 just competing. That's interesting. Now, was it so from a wide variety of categories and disciplines were represented?
Yeah, it was mainly design and architecture, product design and architecture,
Well, that aligns with Bauhaus anyway, so that makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah. And we had really interesting projects, but it's, that's another huge topic. Of course, we had an exhibition and an award ceremony in Berlin. People would come from 20 different countries, and it was a real Bauhaus event, So this is what's, for me, much more exciting than going to a museum and see a Bauhaus exhibition with, old furniture and plates and cups, which is nice too. But I'm more the future guy, not the past.
Yeah. So this was 10 years ago. Now that
it was 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
6 years ago. Yes. Then came COVID. And since I was a professor anyway, I started working more and more at different universities in Germany, also because, online teaching came.
Oh, yeah.
Or, it was existing before already, but it became very easy and we got used to it. So I could teach anywhere from anywhere, and I started getting interesting in the question do students work differently in China? Are students different in China than in Germany or in Indonesia or in Thailand or in France or in Holland or Poland? Is creativity different there? Are Germans more creative than Italians? So this became my big research question, and universities starting started to invite me to give a workshop or a lecture, and that's so much fun. It's so much better than going to the same university every week, and teach classes. Yeah. So I
So
travel and teach
how many
at
universities
really
now
exciting.
have you
Oh,
taught at?
Jesus, I haven't counted them.
You
Many,
should.
many, 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 really. Yeah, yeah. And interesting ones, It's um, a campus in Bandung, Indonesia is so much different to a campus in Germany, because students are living on the campus. They
Oh,
spend 24/7 together. They work together, they live together, they just spend a lot of time together, and that creates a unique atmosphere. And yeah. So this is how you create excellence. You gather bright young people and give them perfect conditions for working and living and see what happens. And after 4 or 5 years or so of hard study, um, you have real good professionals entering the world. Yeah. And this is a well, let's say it's a professor's responsibility to prepare young people as good as you can for creating the future world, because that's the people who do it. A
that's a good
20-year
point.
old today will run the world in another 20 years or 25 years. Okay, you have to prepare them for that.
Yeah, even though they want to do it now.
Yes, right. Like in Silicon Valley, they
Yeah,
do actually.
yeah, in many ways, or at least they, yeah, and most of them think that they deserve to run it now.
Yeah, well, sure.
Now, when you've been teaching, do you, if you're doing it remotely, do you find it's a lot harder to crit work when you're looking through a
To
camera, to give criticism on or feedback on work when you're looking through it through a camera?
No, it's
Hmm.
not. It's actually it's a paradox, because you might be 10,000 miles away, but this situation which we're having right now, it also creates a certain intimacy, you know.
That's a good point.
And yeah, and I remember well when during the first lockdown here in Germany, students would ask me for private conversations, which they don't do at university, right?
Oh yeah.
And they would started talking about their private problems, and it was very touching. Yeah, they were so depressed in this COVID lockdown period. Terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody was. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous. Yeah.
So this is just to say that it works very well. Uh, Despite the distance, you have a certain closeness, and yeah, we don't have. I don't find it difficult at all to talk about it. But mostly it's flat design, right? Because I'm here in Germany. I'm working at the media
Hmm.
faculty, so it's pixel movers. It's no
Okay.
more product design. Yeah,
Ah,
for
okay.
product design, yeah, probably that's a good point. Probably it's a bit more difficult in product design, because you need to touch, you need to feel the surface, you need to feel the volume of a product, and it's a lot easier in live sessions.
Yeah, there's
That's
certain. I mean, I was just thinking about it. You could, conceivably hook up, your 3D CAD programs and be able to see what they've created in that aspect. But to your point, a lot of the aspects of product design that I learned from you was just physically getting hands on and feeling the texture, feeling the materials and the shape of it in your hands, which you can't do looking at a 2D picture of what it is that you're creating, whether it's a mock-up or
yeah.
whatnot.
Right. But I think it's good to combine. I still do online sessions sometimes with my German students because teamwork is so much more efficient. You know, you create these virtual spaces,
Hmm.
virtual they call it breakout rooms
Yeah.
in Zoom, and then they do teamwork, and I can hop from space to space and mentor them and give advice and help them. And it's amazing what you can do in 3 hours with a bunch of, let's say, 20 people. It's just amazing. It's so much more efficient and fast than in class, you know? Because in class, what you do is you have to, you can still work in teams, but then you have 5, 6, 7, 8 tables with lots of, there's noise and there's movement in the room. And it's just not so much focus. So yes, I love online work, but I also, of course, I prefer live work. But the combination is good. You know,
Now,
it's a
speaking
new
of,
way of teaching. It's teaching has changed forever since COVID. So
oh,
thank you,
yeah.
COVID, for making this happen. You know, this development. Yeah.
To, it pushed ahead a lot of trends that are happening in terms of, I mean, I worked with a client of mine for, gosh, almost 20 years. And for the most of that time, it was remote wherever, wherever I happened to be. And, just the normalizing of working remotely. And as you mentioned, being able to travel and work somewhere else um, is very invigorating and inspiring as a designer, and changing your environment and meeting new people. And you don't get that often um, when you're working for a normal design firm in a traditional way, because you're often, unless you're going to client meeting or doing some research, you're often just in your office all the time, going to the same
Yeah.
office. So
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely, you're absolutely right in terms of the silver lining to being locked down is that we got this push ahead in this kind of technology.
Mhm.
Now, I wanted
Mhm.
um, to ask you, one of the things in terms of presenting and being online is you're one of the few friends of mine who gave a TED talk, or at least a TEDx talk.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I remember, I don't know, you probably maybe sent the link originally. I'm assuming that's how I saw the TED talk that you gave in. It was at Thailand.
Yeah, I was in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Right. They have two TED stages in Thailand. One is in Bangkok, and but it started in Chiang Mai. It was
Mhm.
started by a German guy, an engineer, who is very much interested in innovation. That's his thing, and well, I think during the last 20, 25 years, he changed Chiang Mai, which is not such a big city. It has maybe 100,000 people, but he turned it into the city of creativity in Thailand. So Chiang Mai is regarded as the creative hotspot, not Bangkok or any other place, right? And today you find all the digital bohemians sitting around in Chiang Mai because it's beautiful, you know, it's warm, the food is excellent, it's cheap, living is cheap, and the internet is very, very fast. So, you know, since you have this crowd of international creative people, it was almost logic to start a TEDx stage in Chiang Mai, and he's doing it for quite some years. Yeah.
So how did he invite you? How did you get to know him and give a talk there?
Um, I 6 or 7 years ago, I had an exhibition in Chiang Mai at the design center, and I remember the in Bangkok, people would tell me, "What? You're going to Chiang Mai? You don't know Martin?" I said, I'm Martin. No, there's the other Martin, he's also German, and he's running the place, everybody knows Martin. So they gave me his number. I called him and I said, people said, I have to know you because, you're the guy, you're Martin. And I'm also Martin. So, what can we do together? And he helped me out for a few things for that exhibition. And that's how we became how we became friends, and we started meeting regularly. Whenever I'm in Thailand, and I'm often in Thailand, I go to Chiang Mai and we hang out. And he's a very interesting guy. Always nice stories to tell, and interested in many things. So I think it was 2 years ago. He called and he said, "Look, we have a theme for the next TEDx conference, which I think fits perfectly what you do. So how about you give a TED talk about Bauhaus?" And I said, sure, no problem.
Okay.
And then I prepared a Bauhaus TED talk, and it started boring myself. The more I got into it, the more I thought, no, this is not a TED talk. This is a lecture, but a TED talk and a lecture are two different things. A TED talk should be entertaining. There should be, it should have something deep, something fun, something superficial, something to give, some, I wouldn't say teach, but something that you leave with people, a morale, or, that one sentence in the end that makes you think about. And that Bauhaus, of course, you can do a TED talk about Bauhaus, but I don't want to be bored myself. I want to entertain myself and the audience. So, as a last minute thing, I changed the whole TED talk, which made him very nervous.
Okay.
Because he's a perfectionist, man. He wants to have things, in order and well prepared, and so it made him nervous. It made me nervous too. But he gave me a coach, and that was a great thing. So this TED community, you have to know that people organizing, you need a big staff. You need at least 30 people, right? Even for a fairly small TED conference like Chiang Mai. But there's a lot of organization in the background. And one of these people is actually the CEO of a company in Japan. I think he's Australian.
Okay.
And he is a coach and advisor for other CEOs, right? He's running a consulting company. And because he likes TED, he's as a free time, he's a free time consultant for TED speakers. So he gave me that guy, and he was one of my best teachers, I must say. We worked very intensely together.
How much time did this take?
Oh boy, weeks. The thing with TED is you have to, whenever I give speeches or lectures, I never prepare the text, the sentences I'm going to say. Of course, I have a concept and I have a skeleton of words, but I do the speaking on stage, not ready-made sentences. But in a TED talk, every sentence has to be ready before the talk. So you have to learn it by heart, which I hate. I hate it. It's no more spontaneous. So in my opinion, that has nothing to do with a good talk. Anyway, they ask you to do it. So you have to do it 40 times, 50 times.
They do that just because that's the process that's worked for them? Is that why, or they just want, or is it something a little more pedantic, like they want to be able to have a good transcript? What's the
exactly? That's you have to know that it's an international thing. People coming from all kind of different countries, and they have translators, interpreters. Okay. So if you're from, let's say, the Philippines and you don't understand Thai or English, they put something in your ear, and then you can choose your language, right? It's like a UN conference, very very international. So that's a good reason why you have to hand them your manuscript, your text beforehand, so they can translate it in different languages, and it's all ready for the live gig, right? But that's so much more work for you as a speaker. You
True.
have to know almost every word by heart, and it's just a long process. But it's not only the learning it by heart. You also have to learn how to perform,
Yeah.
how to shape a story and not make it too long and not too short. And so you need a coach for that. Yeah. And also, how do you speak? How is your gestures when you're standing there on the stage? Do you use props? And so many questions. Of course, I had given talks before, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But a TED talk is different. Is different. They're just bloody American perfectionists, and if you combine that with a German organizer, it's even worse. It's hell. But I must say, I'd recommend everyone to do it, because it's just so exciting to not only to be on stage, but you get to know the other speakers, which usually come from different countries, and you have all these different topics, and the atmosphere in the room, is pure excitement, because people in the audience are not regular people. The TED audience is more curious than other people, and it's usually more uh, uh, cultivated, I'd say. Yeah. So do it. Whether you sit in the audience or be on stage, it's both. It's I think it's very, very a good experience.
All right. So that is my conversation with my buddy Martin, Professor Martin Rendell of Germany. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. And as we wrap up today's episode, let me bring onto stage the contest that we have. Again, here is the final clue in the Name the Brand contest. So if you know the answer to this clue, put it into an email to me with the hashtag of the name of this mystery brand. And here's the clue. This German car company's most well-known vehicle, the Beetle, was originally designed by Ferdinand Porsche. Yes, Porsche of Porsche cars fame. So if you know the name of this mystery brand based off of this clue, put in hashtag and the name of the brand as the subject line of an email that you send over to moondogairsoft@gmail.com, and include in that email your name and your mailing address. And if you are one of the first three correct answers, I will send you one of these flag patches as a prize. So get that email in. And also this month, I want to point out that I'm having a contest to win a pair of the shooting Bluetooth earbuds that you see here. These are made by Pro Here. And if you want to enter the contest, you can enter at go to moondogindustries.com/contest. You can find complete details on this contest. It's absolutely free to enter. I'll be choosing the winner at the end of the month. And these are great Bluetooth shooting range earbuds, ear protection that are being provided by Pro Here. So check them out, and check out the review video on these earbuds, which are really, really good. And I also want to point you to another section of my website, which includes a fundraiser for the St. Anne Middle School class trip to DC. So my son's 8th and the 7th grade class at his middle school are going on a school trip to Washington, D.C., which is on the other side of the country. So we're raising money for some of the students who whose families can't afford to go, as well as for the teachers who are the chaperones for the class. So if what I've done is I'm donating some of the products that I've reviewed in the past. Like in this case, this is a photo of a night vision camera that you can clip onto your practically any rifle scope or spotting scope or binocular. You clip it on and you're able to take video footage of through your scope, and it'll even work at night. So this you can make a donation, and I put a suggested price donation for this for the products that I have there. In this case, the Commander night vision camera, scope camera, the Commander scope camera. And if you make a donation for that amount and send me a screenshot of your donation that you've sent a donation in, I will send you this Commander camera. So there you go. So check that out. That's at moondogindustries.com/yard sale, and you can help out a very great cause in educating our youth, as well as getting a cool scope camera for yourself. All right, folks. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank my friend Martin for being my guest in today's episode. And be sure to tune in to next week's episode, which will be live. But before you jump off at the end of this video, I just want to ask you to hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you next week. So thanks for watching. You be safe out there. Moondog out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogaindustries.com.